Hi guys, thanks so much for stopping by. So today I will be doing a gardening review, and this is the product is Miracle Grow Water Soluble Bloom Booster Flower Food. And I will give you information right in front of me, and then we're gonna go from there from my personal experience. Promotes more blooms for greater color versus unfed plants. Feed every 1 to 2 weeks for all blooming plants. Formulated for beautiful blooms. Used with Miracle Grow garden feeder or any watering can. And this is more of an all-purpose kind of situation. This is not for orchids. I do not recommend this for orchids because it doesn't say it's for orchids, and I just won't. I won't recommend this for orchids. But other flowering plants I do recommend. So I have been using this for about 10 years, more probably 11. Something like that. And I initially didn't start using this until after I used their all-purpose one. And then I saw this and I'm like, why not give it a shot? So I did. So I was experimenting this a few years ago, and I really do like the combination of the all-purpose one and this one. So just be careful though, because I have kind of noticed that it's not very forgiving. So if you use this on a wrong plant, that plant will really suffer. So just be careful. I've used this my outdoor plants as well as my indoor plants, and it does have directions on how to use it for outdoors and indoors right there. And it says right here, great use for all types of annual and perennial flowers. So just be very, very careful. I also even use this on anything, like even my my blackberry plants. I've used this on pepper plants. I have used this anything that will flower, because it would encourage it would encourage more fruit. So I was using this. I do recommend this, but again, it's not very forgiving. So if you put a little too much, it will definitely destroy your plant. So just be careful of that. A little bit goes a long way for indoor plants. I am currently still using this. I am thinking of switching to a different brand, and the reason for that is that I had a problem with Miracle Grow, and they were not very helpful at all. They pretty much just they made me feel like I was worthless, essentially. And I have been a customer for a decade, and that's just what it is. So it's not everything that I really love from their products, but I have been a very good supporter of them. And a lot of times, friends and family that would always say, oh my gosh, you have such a great green thumb and all that great stuff. I would always say, go with Miracle Grow. I have noticed though that it is lacking. It doesn't really do, I've seen other people have better blooms, better results on their flowers, better results on their, more buds, just better in their plants. So, that's why another thing too, that I'm I've always been kind of wanting to switch, but I'm a very loyal brand customer. So I stuck with them, but now I'm done. So I am currently using a different brand. However, I still have a ton of these, and I'm not gonna use this until summertime I'm just gonna use this for my outdoor plants because I have a ton of these, a ton. So I was just stocking up. So another thing that I also do is I actually use this with a supplement and with the Miracle Grow all-purpose. And don't worry, all of that is going to be linked down below on what I have used before. And I have used this with foliage plants. I just kind of noticed that they become thicker versus just the all-purpose. And that's another thing. I really did, and looking for any kind of extra oomph for my foliage plants And my flowering plants, I needed something that would really help make it thicker and bigger and have better leaves for better absorption of light, so that I could have better flowers, so I could have better fruit, just better everything, taller, bigger, all that stuff. I have used this in succulents, and it works well. I do not use the all-purpose for succulents. I actually use a different fertilizer, and I will try to link that down below as well. I do not use Miracle-Gro for my succulents anymore because it has killed plants for me and my husband. So we've switched because it was a hit or miss. Sometimes a certain plant will take it, and sometimes a certain plant will kind of thrive with it. So we just kind of like, let's just switch to a different brand for the succulents so we don't use that. Since I have a ton of these, I'm going to use this on my outdoor plants just because it's easier to do. And it's just, I don't know. I just don't want to use this anymore on my indoor plants. I just want something better. So I have used this with succulents. So I would do a cactus fertilizer and then this. And I would also use what is that, for my foliage plants or my regular house plants or indoor plants that are non-succulents. I also add this. I do not add this in certain plants. I don't add this in like my fiddle leaf fig. I do not add this in my corn plant. I do not, or my Dracania. That's the other name. That's the Latin name for the corn plant. I do not use this for my Petrocroton. I don't use this for my Schefflera. I don't use this for those kind of plants. But for my ZZ, I use it. For my snake plant, I use it. For Anthurium, what else do I use it with? Pothos, I use this too. I've just kind of noticed if I use this, it just adds a little bit more oomph. Not really a significant difference versus the supplement that I'm using with it. And again, that's going to be down below. But I believe there was a time that I just stop using this, and I'm just going to wait until my plants outside are ready to get this, because I do have lilac bushes and I have blackberry bushes. So, and we have grapes. So this can definitely benefit that, just because, you know, flowering plants and stuff like that. And I will probably use this. I'm still on the fence and doing a veggie garden outside, so that if it is, I could also use that there too, just so I could get rid of all my Miracle-Gro plants, because I really plan on not purchasing Miracle-Gro again. For what it says, yes, it does work. Again, a little goes a long way for house plants. For outdoor plants, for like outdoor plants, you need like a lot more versus the indoor plants. So do not mix that up. There was a time that I accidentally mixed it up and it did burn my plants. And that's when you know you messed up, because I actually forgot. This was just in the summer. This was last summer. I was watering my outdoor plants, and it has a different dose for it. And I completely forgot, because I've had multiple head traumas in the past few years. So I used it in my indoor plant, and my indoor plant wasn't doing well. Like, it burned. The leaves were burning. And that's when you know you over-fertilize it. If you haven't really changed its position in your home, or where it's getting the light and all that stuff, that's because of a fertilizer. So be careful for that. I know that there are some fertilizers out there that are a lot more forgiving than this one. So if you don't want to use this, go ahead and try a different one, which I am still, trying and testing. So I will do a review on those as well. But this one, I have used this for over a decade. It will work. It will work. However, I have seen other people have better results than using this. So, which is another reason, like I said, I want to switch with something better. Just because It feels like the other ones, you have to get it online. It's harder to get it in stores, and that's probably why this is more popular, because of that, just because of accessibility in stores. However, I don't really mind waiting a few days to get my stuff. I really don't. So I'm just going to do it that route. I would say I would give this 3 out of 5 stars. It does give you good blooms. It does give you more flowers, things like that. I just wish it was better. And I wish the company's customer service was better. I wish the way they treat their customers are better. So the company itself is a big flat 0 for me. And the product itself, I believe you really do get what you pay for. It's okay. However, it's not really something like when you're fertilizing and the potential of your plant could be hitting 100. With this, it probably is like hitting with a fertilizer. Okay, not just with water. With the fertilizer, it's probably hitting like a 10 or a 20. So you can use this if you don't want to order anything online. And again, I haven't really done other fertilizers yet of reviews yet, because I don't think I have enough data and time to, I believe, fulfill a review for you guys. This is okay for now. For now, you can use this. Again, do not use this with certain plants. Use this with like whatever you would use an all-purpose fertilizer with. You can use this with that. That's what I have used. If you want to use just this without the all-purpose for flowering plants, that's also okay. Me mixing this with an all-purpose fertilizer is just my preference. The reason I do that is I want bigger plants and I want a ton of flowers from it. So that's why. But you don't need to use this if you don't want to. That is just my personal preference, and that was what I have been using. So that's just what I'm sharing with you guys. That's just all the information I'm using. I know a lot of people were telling me that I really shouldn't be using this with the all-purpose fertilizer because it could ruin your plants. The only time it ruined my plants is when I used the wrong dose. Every single time it has been okay. Again, it's just okay. It's not phenomenal or magnificent or my gosh, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not getting like giant blooms. I'm not getting a lot more blooms in situations like that. I'm really just glad that I found a supplement that I'm currently using. And there are other supplements that I'm also using, but that one I'm not ready to I'm not ready to do a review on that one yet, but I can attest with one of them, and that will be linked down below. So if you guys are interested, because you could use supplements with a fertilizer. Fertilizers are not as forgiving as supplements. Supplements, you can do like more than one kind, and it won't really burn your plants. With fertilizers like this, you have to be very, very careful. A good thing about this too is that I pre-mix them, and you can let it sit there for like 2 weeks and it won't rot, it won't mold. So just be aware of that, because I have used other brands like Dr. Earth, and you have to use that ASAP because it will start to mold. It stinks so bad. This one doesn't really have a bad smell to it. It will turn a blue. It never stains your container. It never stained my container, and it can sit there for God knows how long. However, mine never really does because I got a ton of plants. If you guys want to connect, all my social media accounts are down below. So let's do that. I hope you enjoyed my video. You're going to give me a thumbs up. And of course, if you haven't yet, subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified every single time I do upload a new video. I would not give this any thumb up. I would just give this, the star I think was said 3. I'm thinking 2. 2 out of 5 stars is what I would rate this. It's okay if you're starting out with plants, if there's nothing else you want to use, there's nothing else you can grab a hold of, you need to get something ASAP, you can't wait online, this is fine. But hopefully pretty soon I'm able to do a review on the other stuff that I am using, and I can share that with you guys and probably have better results for a bigger bigger bang for your buck. Thank you guys again. And if you guys have any questions, suggestions, comments, anything you want to chit chat about this particular plant, plant fertilizer, bloom booster, anything you want to talk about in regards to the company or plants, I can talk about that. If you don't hear from me within 7 days, it's probably because I wasn't notified about your comment. Also, try to reach out to me in different ways if you want to. So, all of that is down below in the description section, as well as where you can get this. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.